Hey, little bud.
What?
We got some news to tell some people. Let's take you to Chicago. Traffic!
Traffic!
Ah! Chicago is a city that has done so much for our family. It's maybe our favorite city outside Milwaukee itself, and it has been so meaningful for our journeys. We've taken you there a bunch of times on Sorgy Stories. We haven't been back because of that whole thing called the pandemic.
Yep.
And there have been some even more challenging things that have happened to our family in that period of time.
August of last year, this guy lost his job, and it was completely unexpected.
WTMJ is a fantastic place to
Yes.
work. WTMJ Radio is amazing. I never would knock that place in any way, shape, or form. It is the best radio station in Wisconsin, one of the best, if not the best, in the Midwest. So I have no ill will towards them at all. It was a decision that had to be made in terms of a number of people losing their jobs, not just me. We all know what's happened because of COVID to so many businesses. The radio industry absolutely got crushed. So for 6.5 months, I searched all over the eastern half of the country, but we didn't necessarily want to go anywhere across the country. What's sort of the zone that we wanted to look at?
Think just east of Milwaukee, essentially.
Oh, it's a little bit more specific than that. We wanted to be within 6 hours of where Mommy is from, which is
Charleston, West Virginia. It's just an awesome place to be and go. If you want a little getaway, but you don't want to go out into the way country, go there.
I applied for a whole bunch of different types of jobs all over the eastern half of the United States, from a region between Cleveland, Baltimore and DC, Nashville, Charlotte, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, all over a pretty big space of the country. 13 of the top 52 biggest cities in the United States looking for jobs in radio, digital, television, other types of storytelling, advocacy work, public relations work, work in sports, work in education, sending out hundreds of resumes in cities where we've never lived. And that's a lot harder to find a job than when you know someone in a city that you call home. I had interview after interview, dozens of interviews. I was a finalist for 3 different jobs. None of it panned out.
It was hard on all of us.
We are in the shadows of one of Chicago's great skyscrapers and the building next to it. That building houses WBBM Radio in Chicago, an all-news radio station. Chicago was not one of the cities where I was searching for jobs. We wanted to stay within 6 hours of where Anonymami is from. But I felt the necessity to apply for jobs outside that 6-hour range just in case. I applied for some jobs in that kind of space, including one job that I got a response from the program director there. Are you still open for interviewing? And he said yes. And he was so gracious, and we interviewed. Very shortly afterward, a second interview happened. That second interview was Thursday. So while this kid's upstairs in school, I'm conducting that interview. And we hit it off so incredibly well. And it's at a place in a business which is so much about deeper, important storytelling.
Yes.
It's all about that type of storytelling, the kind that I feel like I'm meant to do with my life, that I've been blessed with the talents to do. And I recognized over this time, over these 6.5 months, that's really my calling. Not a lot of the other areas where I was applying for jobs, even though I tried for 100. It was as if God was saying, stick with what you do best. We'll put you in the place where you're going to have the best impact and the best meaning. And that's exactly what has happened, because hours after that interview, we got the phone call. New job for Daddy. This is the Prudential Building in downtown Chicago.
Yep.
It is the home of WBBM News Radio, a part of Intercom Radio, one of the nation's largest radio station companies, a ton of fantastic, great stations, and WBBM is one of them. But I'm not working for WBBM in Chicago now.
We are going to live in a much more historic city than Chicago.
In fact, our friend Sherry helps you describe what city that is.
Philly!
What makes you excited about moving to Philadelphia?
Well, first of all, this guy behind the camera is going to be working super close to the Liberty Bell. And Philadelphia is such a historic, cool, fun city. It's essentially just a bigger Milwaukee.
We went to Philadelphia on our Brewers road trip back in 2018, and that town impressed us so much. The fan experience we had going to a Brewers-Phillies game was the antithesis of what so many people claim is the problem with Philadelphia sports fans. They say that they were rude, horrific, even sometimes violent. We experienced nothing of that. The fans were fantastic. They were amazing. Philly is such a cool town in a lot of other ways. It is such a different ethnic type of town with so many different ethnicities that are represented in neighborhoods. It is so enjoyable in terms of the restaurants. It has a huge downtown. It is a museum, a living museum in a lot of ways as well, with American history, with the Liberty Bell, Independence Mall, the National Constitution Center. You learn so much about American history there. And of course, there's one favorite thing that we did. What did we do twice, buddy?
What did we do twice?
Da-da-da.
The Rocky Steps.
And all of that. A city that's like Chicago in a lot of ways. So much different fun stuff to enjoy.
Just more history.
More history. And it's a shorter distance than either Milwaukee or even Chicago to Charleston, West Virginia, Mommy's hometown. Now, we are not moving yet from the Midwest for a couple of months. I'm starting my new job in just a few short days remotely, but we will be heading to the East Coast sometime during the summer. We will be back, though, in the Midwest. We'll be back in Milwaukee. We'll be back here in Chicago to catch our Milwaukee Brewers and so much, not only sports, but fantastic life from a part that we call home. But we have a new home coming on the East Coast. So catch all the adventures that Sorgy Stories will be bringing you from the East Coast. Little buddy, to catch it, what should people do?
You gotta like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell function for the Brewers.
So long, everybody, from
Wrigley Field in Chicago. Bye.
It also means there won't be Not working this time, buddy.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
Video previously shot in Milwaukee. Okay. We now return you to Chicago.
Hello.